back to the Retirement Railroad Matinee Modeling Tip of the Day. I'm Steve, and it's the continuing saga of the roundhouse build. Okay, and it's 3 of the Walther's 3-stall roundhouses, and because of the truncation of the roundhouse and the intricate wiring that I have and pre-installed, etc., along with the switch panel here, I'm building it in place. And the tip of the day is don't get in a hurry with things. Right now I am on day 8 of this build, and it's important to note that there's a lot of pre-work done on this model. Every one of these panels, these panels were washed in a very light gray color for the brick detail. And if you get up close enough, and you can't see it on the camera, I've tried to show it, but when you're looking at it like this, you can see the actual white-ish mortar lines between the brick, right? And then of course the windowsills and the walls themselves don't come this color. This is a custom blended color I do for my brickwork. It came a lightish brown type color, but I wanted more of the traditional red brick because that's what you saw back in the 50s and 60s, a lot of, especially in the Chicago area. So then the window frames themselves are weathered, and normally I would come through and put a dull coat on the windows themselves to make it where you can't see in but light comes through. I haven't done that to this one because I want to be able to look in. I want to be able to look in the front, the tops, the sides, to see the locomotives in there. So all of these things come into play when I am trying to engineer, so to speak, the build and installation of the kit. And you know, instructions, you know, and I don't want to pick on any model maker in particular, and in this case the instructions are pretty good. They give you not only the pictures, but they give you the verbiage of what you should do first, what you should do second, etc. And that's the way instructions should be, and so often kits are not like that. But again, because of my specific installation, these don't really work as far as do this, then this, then this, because of the installation. So let me switch views and I'll explain some more of how we're doing it. Okay, so here's a top-down view, and you can see that the flooring is in place, the service trenches, dugouts, whatever, are in place. The floor's been painted, the floor has been weathered, okay, and it is all wired in. I have the wiring installed here, or at least the feed wire, for the lighting that will go inside the building. And because all the glass, all the windows are clear, and because the whole front, the doors will be open, I've got to hide those wires. And the plan is, because of the truncation, again, of this building, how it's getting smaller as it goes, and the illusion of depth, these will go on here. So all I have to do is I will separate these wires, one on each direction, that will come up and then run along the roof rafter to the front. Then there will be 2 feeder bus bars right underneath this section with 4 LEDs every other bay wired in to light it up. Okay, so that's kind of the lighting plan. And again, it takes, went through a number of reiterations of how I thought I could do different aspects of this build. And not all of them would pan out. Okay. Originally I was going to make it where all of these panels, these second panels, would come off so that you get into and look at the inside. Well, that won't work right due to these beams and the rear panels, the truncation, etc. So what has to happen is I have to build every other one of these bays and put the glass here and the front roofing panels in. Then I can lift off every other section of the roof to have access inside for track cleaning, if an engine stalls, etc. Okay, so that's the revised plan. Okay, and so don't get into a hurry, because you'll get down the road and do stuff that all of a sudden isn't going to work, and then it's a lot of work to undo. These door panels, as an example, have very fine hinges so that they can open and close. My recommendation is don't make them where they open and close. You know, if you have extra service bays, make them where they come off, maybe, where you can change the position from closed to open. But don't rely on the hinges because they're too fragile to keep swinging open and close. I've got one set on with the face plates, and I fixed it. It is glued in place, glued in the open position. Just that reason, right? And you can't see it in this view of the camera. So, anyway, so let's switch back and talk a little bit more. All right. You'll notice I'm wearing my headset today because I get a lot of feedback that my audio gets drowned out, etc. And it's not that the microphone's not, my other mic is not doing what it's supposed to be doing. But I have a tendency, as you notice, to be animated and move around. And when I do that, if I turn away from the microphone, all right, it sounds like I'm mumbling, and then the background music takes over, etc., etc. So I'm just wearing the headphones. That way the mic stays with me when I turn to point to something behind me, such as this. And you don't lose that audio. So anyway, another tip of the day. So this is, Heath Hurwitz from Humanity Junction labeled, say, don't be like Steve. And he's right, don't be like me. All right. Or be like the me that fixes the things you don't want to be like. Does that make sense? All right. That's for you, Pete Clark, who wants a Don't Be Steve t-shirt. All right, I want to thank you for joining me here at the Retirement Railroad Matinee Modeling tip of the day. I'm Steve, and you all have a great day. Bye now.